How you doing? My name is Coach Running Rob from rjbfit.com and RJB Fitness and Nutrition Consulting. Also our new YouTube channel, Coach Running Rob. I'm here to talk to you about something really important today, something I learned a long time ago. I hate to say how many years, but there's a 3 and a 0 in it. It's a very important story that one of my professors in a human development class taught me. And I think right now in our society, we really need to pay attention to this particular story. It's called When a Hose is a Rose. Now, I know all of you are thinking right now there's no possible way that a hose can be a rose. I mean, seriously, what am I talking about? How can a hose be a rose? No one's ever heard of such a thing. It makes absolutely zero sense. But when I get done talking to you today, it'll make perfectly good sense. This story stuck with me like no other. I was a teacher, high school teacher, for 24 years. And right out of the gate, I learned that there was a very important skill that teachers, leaders, bosses, managers, anybody, parents, especially parents, there was a skill that we needed to develop. Now, I'm not going to say that I was absolutely perfect at this skill because nobody is absolutely perfect. As soon as someone tells you they're perfect, walk away quickly. But anyhow, I always did the best I could with this. And the skill basically is all about listening. It really is. It's listening. We don't listen anymore. We want everything to be automatic. We want things to be quick. If I ask you a question, I want an answer now. And it better be the right answer. I don't want you to think. I want you to go quick. Our standardized tests are timed. All right? They're multiple choice. We don't ask how people think anymore. We don't listen to their answers. We stop that. This is a skill that we are losing, and I think we're losing it quickly. And it very much so concerns me. So a hose is a rose. It's a very simple story. It's about a young boy, 4 years old. There was a man who worked for an elite private elementary school. He had to go out. His job was to interview 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds to see if they would qualify to go to the school. They had to be interviewed. They had to pass a test. Then they had to have a battery of oral questions to see if they, basically cut it. Not like most schools. You had to be special to get into this one. Fine. It's the requirements. It is what it is. So the question came, can you name a flower? The little boy, who was absolutely brilliant, who was acing the test, doing a wonderful job, looked to the test administrator and said, a hose. Clearly, we are all extremely intelligent, and we know that there is not a flower called a hose. We know this, or at least I think we know this. So the professor obviously knew, the test administrator knew, that the answer was incorrect. It was wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. But something different happened. This test administrator, the professor, decided he wanted to see what was this young man thinking. So he asked him a question, a very simple question. How can a hose be a flower? And the little boy looked at him and said, a hose is not a flower. Come on. A hose is not a flower. However, if you don't have a hose, you can't water your rose, and you will have no flower. The professor took a second, asked a question, and listened to how he was thinking. How was this little boy thinking? And lo and behold, he was thinking way more complex than most 4-year-olds. I don't know how many 4-year-olds would know that your rose would die without the hose. They would just probably think the water, right? The hose is the transportation. They don't think of that. But the boy was thinking way more complex. So his answer was way more in depth than a simple rose, daisy, whatever. So I think we have lost this in our time today because we are so automated, right? Everything's got to be quick, quick, quick. Automatic, right? There's a song about it. We have lost the ability to step back for a second and ask a question. How did you come up with that? What are you thinking? And let me listen to you. Listen, pause, stop thinking about the next story that you're going to tell and listen to what the person is saying. I used to do this with my students. If I asked a question and they got it wrong, I would ask them, why are you thinking that? Now, sometimes they would just go, I guessed. Okay, that's a legitimate thing. You guessed. Okay. So there was no basis on this. You simply guessed. You move on. All right? Because we do guess at things. It is called multiple guess for a reason. Oh, wait, multiple choice. Sorry. So this is something that I want you to think about. Okay? When we're at the workplace, and if you're a boss or a leader or manager or a teacher, are you taking a moment to listen to your people? Are you stepping back for a second and thinking about, well, how can a hose be a rose? How did you get to where you are in your mind? Standardized testing can't answer that question. Data can't answer that question. Statistics don't answer that question. We have to ask it. That's why we're humans. That's what makes us different than, most animals. Is our ability to listen, to see what other people are thinking, to understand it. I think it'll help us sometimes. Because generally, we only think what we want to think. And we only think where we come from. And we only think what we've been taught. And oddly enough, not everybody sees the world through blue eyes. They see them through other colors. And the world looks different. So a hose sometimes is a rose. Something to think about. Step back, America. Think for a minute. Listen to somebody. Ask a question. And then wonder why. How did you get there? And see what they have to say. It's amazing the difference you can make. Have a great day.